Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakokadash. Double honors, of course, go out once again to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to fellow Akim out there. All right, pushing this truth, all honesty and sincerity across the four corners of this earth. Trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. All right, this is Naaman with the DC camp. And this site I like right here because it gives you some insight behind enemy lines. And let's just make one thing clear right off the jump. Don't care about what side of the so-called political aisle you're on. When it comes to our people, it's all bullshit. All right, just keep in mind Psalms 83rd chapter. All right, which by definition is conspiracy. All right, you have a nation, which is our people, that have been prisoners ever since its inception, even before then. All right, we're talking about both northern, being the so-called Latinos and North American Indians, who are the Northern Kingdom, and then we came over here, were brought over here rather, roughly 1492, roughly 130 years later. All right, so yeah, this has been going on a long time. So now what we have here, this is a site I like to go to when I say behind enemy lines. It's called NTD. All right, the same go hand in hand with the site Epoch, EPOCH TV, or Epic Times. All right, it's all the same deal. It leans to the right, and it's good to see how let me tell you something. These motherfuckers are scared shitless. I kid you not. I'm saying it in a kind of, funny way, but what we have here is Russian President Vladimir Putin, who's the current bad guy now. He says meets with Iranian counterpart Ibrahim Raisi. And what's happening here is it's an expression that says the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's what's going on now. You've got the so-called white man. He's supposedly, I'm watching a broadcast now, the same, NTD. All right, and that's why you're gonna see my eyes, But yeah, so you have the bully on the block, and what's common sense will tell you, hey, you got to find another bully. But we don't depend on that. Of course, our big brother Yahweh Shah is just waiting on the word. All right, he's coming to clean house. All right, so we just have to put up with this because we're going into a new phase starting within the next just a little over a couple of months. You have these midterms coming up. You have, like I say, these politicians and these, this divide here, especially in America. It's worldwide, but specifically, we're focused on America here. The big bad bully on the block, the so-called hammer of the earth. And I'll get that scripture here shortly, but in Jeremiah. But you're seeing people pick sides like this article here is implying. Well, you know what? You got a line drawn in the sand. I'm going over here. Fuck you. Because you've done nothing but dirt to me. And this is Iran. Iran hasn't attacked anybody. You've got that state, so-called over there, that goes by the name of Israel. These Israelis that are there just to keep shit going. Everybody, and this is this one of these secrets that's not a secret. Everybody knows they're frauds. All right. I mean, everybody. But it's like they've garnered and gained so much power. It's like nobody can do anything. They've got America kissing their ass because they think somehow that the Christians, and this is what gets me after reading the Noahide laws and all these other things, how these stupid ass Christians don't realize how much they've been used. And when you read that, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. For all this time, they've had this, and this is because of so-called white supremacy, and I'll get to the actual article here. I didn't mean to ramble, but all this shit is connected. Here it is. You've kept, I'm talking about these Christians now, which is not what the actual scriptures preach. This is something that they've invented since the Renaissance, all right, that everybody can make it, which is a lie, that Israel is done away with, another lie. And when you look at it, you're like, how stupid. It's truly, there was truly a spell put over, as it applies in Isaiah 25:7, it's covering caste. You wonder, you see now that, how is this even possible? Can't people read? And then you get scriptures like Isaiah 29, start at 9, all right? And Romans, well, let's go there real quick. And you're like, my goodness. And you can understand now the power of the Most High. And that you would think common sense, well, like the saying goes, common sense isn't always common. All right. Oh, my goodness, I keep doing this, 11. And it says, Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then is the question? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Even amongst our own people, which is the only ones that matter. Now, you got to give credit where credit is due. There have been, I can't put a number or even a percentage on it, people who knew the actual truth. I'm thinking of, what was his name? The former president of Egypt, Nasser. Was it Gamal Nasser? I can't remember if that was his middle name or his first. He knew. He even made the comment. It would have been so nice of him to do that in English. But you can just ask anybody, if you have any problems understanding that, to translate if you find someone that is Arabic, all right? Because listen, you know, you got to correct that too, because they are not Egyptian. They are Ishmael that currently occupy Egypt and have for the longest time. But even they knew that these people over there that occupy our land, the land of Israel, they know that they're frauds. They have people in North Africa, especially the Vatican. This is all just to maintain Edomite supremacy. That's all. All right. Verse 8, according as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Let's keep going with this. Let's go back to Isaiah. I said 29, verse 9. It says, stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Most High Yahweh hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. All right. 11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed. These so-called preachers and pastors in these churches, they have no clue what's going on. This has been a hustle. This has been nothing more, especially coming out of LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson's Great Society and all his programs. All right. Being he a crypto Jew and his wife that we know, and, you know, Lady Bird, she was a so-called Jew. All right. So all these programs were not at all aimed at helping our people. Quite the opposite. And you can look at the condition of the so-called black family. All right, and there's your evidence. All right. The as far as these churches are concerned, this non-profit shit. I mean, where did all this money go? I brought this up at camp like a couple of weeks ago. I heard a stat back in '93 concerning the black churches and how much they make in America every week. And this was in 1993, almost 30 years ago. It was $1 billion that they had calculated each Sunday. So you figure in a year you got 52 weeks. Where the hell did this 52 billion go as far as, and how is it helping our community? You see? It's a fucking joke. A fucking joke. Look at the condition. You know, this so-called white man, this Edomite, he's done everything. And people across the world can look at us as an example of what democracy has done. They don't want no parts of it anymore. Alright? That's why you got, look at this. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Iran to join Asian security body led by Russia and China. Dubai. Iran has moved a step closer towards becoming a permanent member of a Central Asian security body dominated by Russia and China as Tehran seeks to overcome economic isolation imposed by U.S. sanctions. See, Russia took steps because they knew it was coming down the pike. So, you know, they didn't have all their eggs in one basket, so to speak. Alright, and it goes into, says the body formed in 2001 as a talking shop for Russia, China, and ex-Soviet states in Central Asia, expanded 4 years ago to include India and Pakistan, with a view, because these are other nations, two others that got fucked over by the U.S., with a view to playing a bigger role as counterweight to Western influence in the region. Because you got that what? The Israelis, alright? And like I said earlier, you got America kissing their ass under this false belief that if we can kiss enough Israeli ass, thinking that they're the actual Israelites, when they're not. It tells you when you look up Israelite. Let's do that real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see, Webster. Of or relating to a descendant of the Hebrew patriarch Jacob, which nation of Edom are not. They descend from Jacob's brother Esau. Specifically, a native or inhabitant of the ancient northern kingdom of Israel. It says ancient. Of or relating to Israel or to the Israelites. Let's see if we can find something else to be more. Let's see. Britannica, Israelite, descendant of the Hebrew patriarch Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel after an all-night fight with Penuel near the stream of Jabbok. Genesis 32:28. In early history, Israelites were simply members of the 12 tribes of Israel. Alright. Whoops. And it says in early history, Israelites were simply members of the 12 tribes of Israel. After 930 BC and the establishment of two independent Hebrew kingdoms in Palestine, the 10 northern tribes, 1 Kings 10, 10th chapter, tribes constituting the kingdom of Israel were known as Israelites to distinguish them from the southern kingdom to Judah. The northern kingdom was conquered by the Assyrians in 722/721 BC, and its population was eventually absorbed by other peoples. You can find this history in 2 Kings 17th chapter. and Second Ezra's 13th chapter, starting at around the 40th verse. All right. And see, now you get into this Jewish nonsense here, this liturgical usage. All right. Now that's why you have to. It's like when you handle a calculator, you punch in 1 + 1, you got to know that it's not 3. All right. It says, who are Israelites? All right. Physical descendants of Abraham through Isaac and Jacob. All right. All right. Keep on going. Jacob or Israel had 12 sons, the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Most notably, most properly, any member of one of the tribes of Israel was called an Israelite. All right. I just want them to find something that makes a distinction between Israelite and Israeli. All right. I might have to put that in because it seems like they're trying to beat around the bush here. You got to understand, they control the media here. So let's just do that because we're gonna seem like we're gonna be here all night. Difference, all right, between Israelite and Israeli. The difference between, this is Shadrach Porter, let's see. Let's see what this says. The difference between Israelis and Israelites. There have been so many stories about the Israelis that are not true. We get so confused with the difference between the Israelis and the Israelites. First, to begin, the Israelis are white European settlers that now occupy the land known as Israel. Former Khazarians from the north. The land was a political gift from the Western European countries to the Israelis who call themselves Jews, and they occupied it in 1947 and 48. Why? Because of the Rothschilds. All right, and this, which started with, what was his name? In the late 1800s, with this, Zionism. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Contrary to the Israelites, who were told not to go back to that land because of their disobedience to their power, they were also told that they will see the land Israel no more and will be sold into slavery. And that's go right to the point. Don't get overzealous. The slavery era was I'm just seeing this like you are for the first time. The slavery era was merely physical punishment because of their disobedience. Alright, well, look at these. You know, like I said, don't get overzealous because they might hit you with a curve here. The God spoken about in the scriptures was so-called black. Alright, and so is his family. The first man was made like him. Alright, because what is your soil composed of? The more rich it is, the darker it is. Common sense. There was never white or pale mud. The richest of all soil was and still is black. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. See? Visage means face. And it goes all into it. But this is the thing here. There is a difference. And I wanted it to come from something that you wouldn't associate. But this site is www.shadrach, porter.com. All right. And I'll be sure to include this in the, let's see. Here it is. This is what I was looking for. Quora.com. It says, why are people from Israel called Israel, not Israelite? Because it's a term denoting citizenship of a corporation and not an actual bloodline. So I wanted something kind of neutral, because they won't say, oh, that's one of those black supremacy sites. No, this is Quora. All right. It says the state of Israel is a corporation. Corporations, if anyone does not know, can be governments too. If anyone observes close enough, you will find that the state of Israel and the United States, which is a corporation ran as a government, are pretty much the same, with the noticeable difference in that the state of Israel is ran by the Knesset, the Jewish Congress, and also comprise of party systems that decide politics. However, keep in mind that Israel was a compository government of 12 tribal estates who elected a monarch who governed the tribes in their tribal estates. It was not a theocratic, heterogeneous metropolitan democracy. The state of Israel claims to be today. Sticking to the topic, all people who claim the Jewish religion, who claim heritage from parents who converted, all right, to Judaism, and that's the point, or people who were naturalized become Israeli and not Israelite. If one reads the Bible, all the beneficiaries of the Israelite nation obtained their national identity by tribal status. You had to be one of the 12 tribes of Israel to be Israelite. Period. Gotta save this too. Let's see. Bookmark. Okay. All right. So, gotta keep this. Yes, sir. I like it when they get straight to the point, because there's a lot, and we have been a victim of so many lies. I mean, this is like morphed into something else what I didn't intend to go into, but that's good information to know. So all these nations now are trying to get away from the U.S., America, because they're poison. All right? You know, their democracy, their philosophy, their doctrine. Let's go to real quick, since I said that, and then I'm gonna end it here because this is like I'm all over the place. It seems like, but this is Psalms 58, and it says, "The Most High who judges the earth." All right. I'll start at the top. Verse 1 says, "To the chief musician, out of Sept, Metropolitan of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?" Verse 2, "Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth." And that's what these so-called white people, these Edomites, have done ever since, Christopher Columbus, wow. It's a real scumbag. Verse 3, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." There's no redemptive qualities that you can attribute to Edom, these so-called white people. Just look at their just like it says here, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. They are known for circumlocution. Their mastery at speaking lies, double speak, however you want to put it. All right. And here's the point. Verse 4: "Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear." All right. "Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely." All right. "Break their teeth, O Most High, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Most High." All right. So, the you knowing what you know now, you just sit back and you can look at certain scenarios that take place where mostly Jake, you can, where you're looking through various media, and you just know what's going to happen. And Jake out there in the world doesn't understand who he's up against. Well, we do. you know. And no matter what you tell Jake, they're so programmed to believe in so-called white supremacy. That's why it says 2/3 of our people have got to go. We will never get anywhere. All right. And these are these same spirits coming back. They were against the Lord, all right, when he walked the earth. You know, wow, they can't see it. Our worst opposition out there on the highways and byways comes from Jake. Now, at camp Saturday, we had an Edomite throw some dog shit at us, all right? You know, it's just one of those things, and you can see these things, it's like they're getting bolder and bolder now, all right? That's why you have to be locked in while you know, out there on the line. But in any case, let's see if I got anything else here. I believe I did, but I gotta see if, oh, that's what it was. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Okay. Let me find this guy. Here it is. And it goes into pretty much the same thing. Let me see. Come on here. Let's see. Now I gotta find it again. I hate this, but let's see. It's, you know, it's some of these sites. That's just the bad thing about it. You can't do two things at the same time. Let's see. Because I had it keyed in, but I had to drop it and show you that clip of. Let's see.
Your truck tells the world
Salakia.
what it says is up to you. The redesign.
Hell, they don't even want you to. Can't even mute it now. Salakia. I think it's coming up now. Hold on.
Elon Musk will have to answer questions from Twitter's lawyers under
them as a strategic force. Internally, they are used to ensure
data to research lab at the College of William and Mary. It focuses on China's global finance.
Hold on. Yeah, this is it.
Wong called China's cybersecurity arsenal.
It's coming up right here. Hold on. Here we go.
And is China becoming the world's loan shark? A top advisor to the U.S. Treasury Secretary warned today that Chinese loans to low and middle income countries could burden them with dozens of years of repayment woes. In recent years, Beijing...
He had... Wait a minute. He said that with a straight face. Oh, it gets worse.
State-owned banks have given tens of billions of dollars in emergency loans to countries. Since 2017, Beijing has lent a total of $32.8 billion to Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Argentina. According to aid data to research lab at the College of William and Mary, it focuses on China's global financing activities. Aid data's executive director says that China has pivoted from lending for infrastructure projects like ports and bridges to emergency rescue lending. Other countries receiving rescue lending from China included Kenya, Venezuela, Ecuador, Belarus, Egypt, Mongolia, and Ukraine. In fact, about 60% of China's overseas lending is to countries that are in debt distress, according to researchers at the World Bank. So again, is China becoming the world's loan?
The World Bank. The World Bank, all right, who is responsible for all these, especially when it comes to Jake countries, being enslaved to them, are now complaining that China is a loan shark. Do you understand? Okay. Wow. Wow. Still got a straight face. He's not rolling on the ground laughing. See why I read Isaiah, Psalms 58 chapter. Let's continue.
U.S. Treasury official Brent Neiman said today that China became the world's largest creditor in 2017 that means the world owes more money to China than it does to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund combined.
Now, you do recall that they've gained a foothold in Africa. All right, and I always said when that started that all they did was trade one oppressor for another one when they did that. But now we have, and this is what I'm gathering from this, the Esau's caught feelings over this. All right, they don't like me no more. Wow, this devil this motherfucker got some kind of nerve. I mean, let's continue.
China has vastly expanded its portfolio of loans and trade credits, and it's now by far the largest bilateral official creditor in the world.
A Boston University research paper says China is becoming an alternative to the Washington, D.C. headquartered International Monetary Fund. It says Chinese lending has led some countries to turn away from the IMF. And one of the major concerns for countries going to China for loans is that when you borrow from Beijing, the terms and conditions of these loans are often not transparent. One study found that all contracts...
Whoa. Didn't someone write a book called Diary of an Economic Hitman or something like that? And they told of all the wicked bullshit that they did? Let's look that up. Let's see. Diary, let's see, of let's see this Diary of an Economic Hitman. Let's see, what was that about? Confessions. All right, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. All right, let's see. Is a here we go, autobiographical book written by John Perkins, first published in 2004. Let's see what that is about. The book provides Perkins' account of his career with engineering consulting firm Chastity, Maine, in Boston. According to Perkins, his job at the firm was to convince leaders of underdeveloped countries to accept substantial development loans for large construction and engineering projects. Ensuring that these projects were contracted to U.S. companies, such loans provided political influence for the U.S. and access to natural resources for American companies, thus primarily helping local elites and wealthy families rather than the poor. According to Perkins, he began writing Confessions of an Economic Hitman in the 80s, but claims threats or bribes always convinced him to stop. Suggesting a system of corporatocracy and greed rather than a unilateral conspiracy, Perkins claims the involvement of the National Security Agency, NSA, with whom he had interviewed for a job prior to joining Maine. Psalms 64 and 8. All right. Psalms 64 and 8. So they shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And you have some of that happening right here. They're tired of the nation of Edom, the so-called white man's bullshit. They're tired of him having this status, often referred to it as demigod status in the earth, because they see that he is the wicked. Malachi 1st chapter. Continue.
State-owned entities after 2014 contain strong confidentiality clauses, and these clauses often prevent the borrower from revealing the terms and conditions of the loan.
Chinese loan contracts often contain non-disclosure agreements. As a result, liabilities to China are systematically excluded from multilateral surveillance or restructuring efforts.
And often debt-distressed countries...
Like, you don't need an electron microscope to find out all the bullshit you got hidden in your contracts. You see the hypocrisy here? People are tired. This motherfucker got to go. Hey, so with that, that's basically it in a nutshell. This is what, you know, this man, he's being taken out of his heaven, all right, his rulership. He doesn't like it, and there's more of this on this site, Epic Times, Epic TV, all this that you're going to read. Like I said, this is a right-leaning news outlet. All right, all of it. It's good to see, like I said, what's going on behind enemy lines. All right, these people, and you better believe, all right, something's in the works. And I'm going to bring out more stuff, and probably all of my videos this week is going to be exclusively. Now, I've done it from time to time, but Epic Times and things like that, you got to, even with this one, you have to subscribe. And hey, I'm too cheap, but they do have good articles. All right. Hey, so with that, hey, till the next video, shalom.